Hello friend, as we have discussed in the last two lecture about the manufacturing process, and in that we have started about the casting process. So you can refer last two lecture. It is available on engineering college Banswara YouTube channel. So in continuation to that lecture, as we have discussed, the pattern making is a very important topic, or we can say it's a important process of the part. So the casting actually. So today we discuss about the pattern making process and different types of the pattern uh, material which is used in the pattern making. So today we discuss about a very important topic about the casting. So we start from the first slide is the pattern. The pattern is a model or replica of the object to be cast. As we have discussed, suppose you want to make one hole in the casting. So in that hole, uh, you want that a material has to be filled around that part. So what you have to put the cylinder inside the uh, pop and track. So when you pour the material, so material cover surround area by the cylinder. So when you remove the cylinder from the material, casting material, you will get the okay. So exact what you want to produce or you want to cast, that has to be prepared first. Okay, that is the pattern. Except for the various allowances, a pattern exactly resemble the casting to be made. Pattern may be in 2 or 3 pieces, whereas the casting are in the single piece. So you can make the pattern into 2 or 3 pieces, but as the final product, you will get the single one. Okay. So suppose like I want to make one pattern has 3 different parts. A pattern is also necessary if you want to produce a one object. Okay. The quality of casting and the final product will be affected great extent by the planning of the pattern. As you can say, suppose you are replicating the product from the pattern. So, as you make the accurate pattern with close tolerance and surface finish, so that will be reflected to your final casting. So you have to focus on the pattern quality. The next one is a function of the pattern. A pattern prepare a mold cavity for the purpose of the making casting. Okay. Pattern may contain the projection known as core prints if the casting required a core or need to be hollow. As I have discussed, suppose you want to create a hole, okay, in the pattern. So at the time you have to use the core, riser, runner, and gate system. That is a part of the pattern. So riser, runner, and gate. These are the different actually features that is basically used in the casting. The pattern properly made and having a finish as more surface. Plus, as we have discussed, like it will reduce your defects. Okay, so properly constructed pattern minimizes overall costing of the cast. Ultimately, as you can see, suppose you have prepared any component which has to be machined. I am talking about the post machining process. Okay, so at that time, suppose your cast product is not accurate or it has some flow like a surface problem or some defects, so you have to work more after the post casting process. So ultimately it will increase your cost. Now the very important topic, that is selection of the pattern materials. So it is very important because when you selected the casting process, the first step is about the selection of the pattern material. So these are some parameters that will help you to identify the uh, pattern material, which material has to be used. So number of casting to be produced. Suppose like you want to make one piece or 1,000 or lakh piece. Okay, matter to be cast. Which material is to be cast? Dimensional accuracy and surface finish. Whether your component required a high dimensional accuracy or surface finish. Shape, complexity, and size of casting. This is also very important parameter. Suppose you want to produce a very large shape and you have used the wax as a casting material, so it will actually lose its accuracy. Casting design parameters, types of molding material, the chance of repeat orders, okay, nature of molding process, and position of core print. So these are the very important parameters, even though we will discuss one by one. But you have to think about that, which process and which material is actually feasible for the specific application. Now come to the material which can be used for the pattern making, like wood. Wood is also very famous material as the pattern. Metal is also very popular. If you compare wood and metal, suppose you want to produce the number of components in a large quantity. At that time, we can use the metal material. Then next thing, plastic, plaster, and wax. So these are the five different material which is used as the pattern material. Now we come to the one by one and advantages and the benefits, you can say, of the different material. Like we take the wood, so it's an inexpensive material. It is very cheap, easily available in large quantity. So you will find wood each and everywhere, easy to fabricate. It can produce pattern with less effort and less machinery. In wood, you don't require any specific machines. Okay, light in weight, so it is very easy to handle. Suppose you want to transfer pattern frequently, so it is very easy. You can transfer wooden pattern. It can be repaired easily. Okay. Suppose after the repeat use, okay, so some damage may be occurred in the pattern, so it would be like that will be actually repaired easily, easy to obtain good surface finish. So these are the advantage of the wood pattern. Okay. So limitation, yeah, like here we have advantage and disadvantage. Like suppose we have some moisture in the sand. Actually, what will happen, that moisture will be absorbed by the wood and some problem, that shrinkage and swelling process, poor resistance, absorb moisture. Life is very short. So these are the very some disadvantage, or we can say limitation, of the wood material. Now come to the wood material which wood are commonly used, like teak wood, pine wood, mahogany, deodar. These are the number of example that is used for the pattern making. Now come to the second one, that matter. Do not absorb the moisture. The advantage is do not absorb the moisture. Absorb the moisture, more stronger, possess much longer life. Do not retain their shape. So this is actually comparison with the wood. Great resistant to abrasion, accurate and smooth surface finish, good machinability. great advantage of the metal pattern, but of course some limitation. Expensive compared to the wood. Require a lot of machining for accuracy. Not easily repaired. Ferrous pattern get rusted, heavy weight, it's difficult to handle. So these are the some disadvantages. Now, commonly material used for the pattern is cast iron, aluminum, and its alloy, steel, white metal, brass. These are the material which is commonly used as the pattern material. Third one is the plastic material. So lots of advantage. It's durable, provides smooth surface finish. Of course, moisture resistant, do not involve any fabric. Change in shape and size, lightweight, good strength, wear and corrosion resistant, easy to make, abrasion resistant, and good resistance, chemical and lightweight. Here, as we have discussed. So limitation, but plastic pattern are fragile. Okay. These may not work well with the subject to the condition of the sharp shaft as a machine molding. Like suppose when we use the plastic as a pattern and we are applying some forces on the sand for the ramming process, suppose at the joint. Okay. At that time, what will happen? It will try to shrinkage or it try to distort its shape. So these are the limitations of the plastic pattern. Now, next with the plastic pattern, it can be easily worked by using the woodworking tools. The great shape can be cast without difficulty, and it has a high compressive strength. Okay. Now, last one is the wax pattern. Basically, this is the widely used in the industries. Wax pattern is very common and it is frequently used in every industry. So, provide very good surface finish and high accuracy to casting. After being molded, the wax pattern is not taken out to the mold like other pattern. Rather, the mold is inverted and heated. The molten wax came out and or it's evaporated. Thus, there is no chance of mold cavity getting damaged while removing the pattern. So, this is actually biggest advantage, and we can say uh, due to this feature only, this pattern is very famous. As we can say, we made a pattern with the wax material. Then we have placed each and every component like sand, mop and drag, rust, everything. Now, what we are doing? We are hitting that whole things and it will get melted, wax get melted or evaporated and it will come out from the cavity, mold cavity. So, very less chances of the damage of the mold cavity. So, this one is the last actually topic about the wax pattern. So, in today's lecture we have discussed about the lots of things. So just go through all the patterns